we go. So I haven't made one of these in a while. Yeah, I've been busy with stuff, guys. I apologize. Right now I just took a break from playing Persona. Yeah, I can't stream Persona because of Atlas, because you know why. Let me see if my audio is coming in through good. Yeah, I can't stream Persona. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's get into these few topics that have been happening over these years. Not years, these few weeks. Since we talked, the Xbox One X released. We got the sales numbers, and we got the NPDs, and we got the day one comparisons and all of that with Digital Foundry and all of that stuff. So I'm going to be talking about that. I'm also going to be talking about the Battlefront 2 situation and see if we can just get through all of this, you know. So here goes. So Xbox One comes out. Xbox One X released November 7th. It's November 15th. It's been at least 2 weeks. We've seen Digital Foundry has put out their comparisons. We're seeing that it's, in my opinion, and in Digital Foundry's opinion, it's not a big difference between the games, you know. Xbox One X, you get a little bit more from the PS4 Pro, and even though that sometimes the PS4 Pro outputs at 1440p and the Xbox outputs at, like, let's say, like some weird resolution, some weird dynamic resolution, it's always dynamic. It's basically dynamic. The dynamic resolution on PS4 is a little bit lower than the dynamic resolution on Xbox One X. You still get an upgrade for the both of them. You still get an upgrade over the base hardware of the PS4 and the Xbox, but one costs $500, the other costs $400. One has mediocre exclusives, one has great exclusives. It's just a matter of opinion. Like, whether you just have to look at all the info and say, hey, which console's the best for me, and like, where are all my friends, where are the games, like, that's the absolute most what's it called, priority must have. Like, where is the games that I want to play, and where is the best I can play them at. So if you like Sony exclusives, if you like God of War, if you like the exclusives that Sony's showing, then absolutely get a PS4 Pro. But you like them shoot 'em ups, you like them the Halos, the Gears of Wars, and the Forzas, I would go with the Xbox One X. Definitely, if you do not have a 4K TV, do not buy any of these consoles, because buy PS4 Pro, because PS4, because you don't get the added benefit to seeing, like, these games at their higher resolutions. That's all they are. They are the same frame rate but higher resolution. Even though some game modes run at like 60 frames per second, you're not going to see, they're not even stable at 60 frames per second. The Xbox can't even hold Final Fantasy 15 at 60 frames per second. It drops down to like 30 frames per second. And it can't even hold 30 frames per second at 4K. It drops down to 18 frames per second. So that is telling me, the consumer, that the Xbox One X is not drastically different than the PS4 Pro. Granted, you get more resolution on the game, but you still get the same frame rate. Either way, it's still, you lose. I'm losing right now because I bought this console, I bought the PS4 Pro, and I still get the same frame rates. And it's because of the CPU bottleneck. And even though you got these fanboys crying online saying it's a huge improvement over the PS4 Pro, and even though they now see the difference in resolution, even though they said resolution doesn't matter, crazy how things flip-flop there. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's just these fanboys, they like to flip-flop and everything. And there's so many different options out there than just buying another $500 console just to play multiplats. Like a PC, you can get a PC, you get a PS4. If you don't have a 4K, you're basically 4K TV. You're basically screwed. You can't buy these consoles, and don't don't listen to these fanboys who say, "Oh, if you don't have a 1080p TV, you don't have to. You can still buy the Xbox Super Sampling." It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You're gonna get the same resolution and same frame rate as your base hardware, either the PS4 or the Xbox One. Just wait, guys. Just wait until like the next generation, because we're never gonna see a graphical difference from like what we saw with the PS2 to the 360 era, from like comparisons from like the original Gears of War to like, let's say, San Andreas. We're never gonna see that jump in graphics, and we just have to live with that. And if you want, like, just play the games you would like to play, and just see like what games you want to play, and just see what exclusives each of these consoles are offering. Like, no fanboy stuff, no anything. Just say, hey, what games do I like to play? Like, for me, for example, I love RPGs. I love these single player experiences. I absolutely hate paying for my privilege to use my internet to play multiplayer. So that's why I never, ever want to play multiplayer games. And where's the best single player games at right now? On what platform? The Nintendo Switch and the PS4. That's the consoles I have right now, because those are the games I want to play. I don't want to play multiplayer games. I don't want to play shooters. I absolutely hate shooters. I played Wolfenstein and I didn't like it. So, and that's why I didn't buy Doom on my Switch, because, well, for one, it's going to make me sick because it's 30 frames per second, and two, I don't want to spend $60 on a GIMP system of a Doom. So there, you could just tell yourself, it doesn't take that much of a difference. Just say, hey, what games do I want to play, and where can I play them? Give me one sec, guys. But yeah, it's just bonkers. Just bonkers. It doesn't take that much mental fortitude to say, like, hey, what do I need? But then again, you have these console fanboys are always saying like what you need to buy and how you need to buy and everything, where you can spend your money. It's your motherfucking money. You can spend it on whatever you want, and it doesn't affect other people. So good on you. But transitioning to that, we got the sales numbers of the Xbox One, and in 1 week, I think the Xbox One X sold about 80,000 consoles in 1 week. But the Nintendo Switch, and I really don't get this comparison. People are comparing it to the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch sold 80,000 consoles. No, did I say 80? Yeah, 80,000 consoles. Did I say million? I'm sorry. 80,000 consoles in 2 days, versus the Xbox One, who sold 80,000 consoles in 1 week. I don't know how that's a W for the Xbox One X. I guess it's because it sold more than the PS4, and they're comparing it to the PS4 Pro. I guess that's a win. I guess, hurrah! I don't see it. Good on ya for selling as much of a tablet in 1 week. Then in what it took 2 days. 2 days for a tablet to sell as much as a $500 console sold within a week. So people don't know proportions, I guess. I guess it's a W. I'll just leave it at that. The games. We saw the games, and it absolutely disappointed me. It disappointed me so much. Shadow of War was the top-selling game of October. I guess it was a dry week. I guess because it released like that first week of October, so I think the sales numbers were a little bit more higher for them in their favor. But then again, Assassin's Creed released, I think, the same day as Mario Odyssey, and it still lost to Mario Odyssey. So yeah, it's just more platform. I think those games have more platforms than the Nintendo Switch, but at least Mario Odyssey got on the top threes. I was happy about that. Not happy that these games with loot crates and stuff like that were able to sell more than the single player games. Like, it sold more than the Fractured Butthole and sold more than like these two games with loot crates sold. It's just sold insane, and they're absolute victories and stuff like that. Like I think Call of Duty, it sold a lot, and it sold like more than ever, more than the Infinite Warfare, and it had loot crates, so they're not going to change in that front. So loot crates are here to stay, I guess. But it's not all bad news. We got more info. We got Skyrim now. Just all these great games that are without microtransactions that are coming out this month and came out last month. So here's hoping for that, and which is a good segue for this. Let's talk about the Battlefront 2 situation, and EA. So, hey, let me put up the exact dates because I don't want to eyeball this. I do not want to eyeball this. Let's see here. Oh no, I retweeted it. Sorry guys. Give me one sec. Oh man, I'm so unprepared. I'm so, oh god, Star Wars Battlefront. It's just I need to pull up the exact dates and what they said so I can just rip them apart. But anyways, so EA decided to, after EA did an AMA on Reddit, which is Ask Me Anything, and it was an absolute travesty. Like, people are pissed off. Like, I think Jim Sterling answered a question there, and they didn't respond to him because they knew who he is. If you do not know who Jim Sterling is, he's a game reviewer. He's a journalist who's been in the game for about 10 years. He's been active on like the stand against loot boxes and microtransactions, and in $60 titles. So yeah, they didn't respond to that. People were just absolutely laying into them, and I feel so sorry for the people for the person who was doing the AMA. He must have been just questioning his life choices about then, because you really don't want to feel like shit. Like, that guy must have felt like a grade A shit with all these people like just destroying him. And granted, it was there was some civil comments in there, some discussions back and forth, having the discussion saying, hey, what's going on? But it doesn't excuse, people are still mad, and people still had the microtransactions. They were stuck to their guns. And I think it was around the 15th or the 16th, EA, or yeah, I think it was, because DICE a developer, they're great developers. It's the people that are above them that are just trying to push their agenda. Because if you look in their past titles, like, all their past titles have microtransactions, and they're all multiplayer only, on multiplayer focused games, and that's what they want. They want longevity. They want player count and how much you play their game, and how much you're paying for their game, and all that stuff. They want increasing revenue, and the microtransactions is a revenue that can increase profit margins and all that stuff. So that's the reason why they're not sticking by it. But this situation is very different because most gamers just had enough of it. Just gamers in general just had enough of these $60 titles with free-to-play elements. And it wasn't free to play. They basically did everything a mobile game does and implemented it into a $60 title. They did like timers and cooldowns on like arcade mode. They did cooldown timers of how much credits you can make within like a certain time frame, and that's straight ripped off from mobile, from free to play games. And they didn't want you to cheat the system basically and earn all these credits from playing the game. They want you to spend money. They wanted you to spend money on loot crates and on crystals, and just trying to just trying to make their game as profitable as they can. And granted, that's awesome for them, but sucks for us, you know, because we had to basically dedicate our lives, or 2 months of our lives, to playing Battlefront 2 just to play Dark Raider. And people in just organized, and congrats to the Reddit people that organized this. Congrats to the people who basically just said no, enough is enough, and just said fuck it, you know, just said we're not paying for your game. And people were just canceling their pre-orders, getting refunds on Origin, to the point where EA had to literally hide the refund button on their main page for PC, for Origin. They had to hide it because they didn't want people to refund it. They slashed, oh my god, they slashed the number of credits you need to get to play the most iconic characters in Star Wars. And that was just a kick in the balls, saying, hey, could you imagine, like, let's take an EA title, Madden, coming out, but you had to pay for loot boxes to play. You had to pay for loot boxes to play as your favorite team members. Like, you only get like 5 teams, like the Broncos, the New England Patriots, and the Raiders, and you had to pay for the rest, you know, in loot boxes and gamble crates, you know, and and that's how it feels to play Battlefront 2, because all you want to play as your favorite heroes, you want to play as these iconic Star Wars heroes on Battlefront 2, nonetheless, and you can't because you don't have the credits and you need to spend money. And I think the people that did the calculations, saying you either had to pay $2,000 to get this one character. You had to pay $2,000 to get this one character, or spend the next 2 months of your life, or 3 months, next year of your life, grinding and trying to find these, grinding and getting star cards and getting doubles in order to get this one character. And the fact that they slash the credits to get the certain character that you want, and say, hey, we heard you, we're going to slash it. That's an absolute disrespect to us, to the consumer, and to gamers in general. Could you imagine a person like saying, hey, this hamburger costs $100, but we know it's too much, so we're just going to slash it and it costs $50 now. It costs $50. It's still fucking bullshit. It's still overpriced bullshit. And this whole fiasco got so out of hand and got so vocal that main outlets started seeing it, and these main outlets saw the uproar, us in general, the people that were outspoken, and basically the people that were screaming, shouting to the high heavens that this is bullshit, got picked up by the mainstream media. And I think CNN Money, or CNN, a branch of CNN, did an article, and you know how these mainstream articles do, and it just spread. You know, it was article saying how this is child gambling, and how this is detrimental, and how this is a bad business practice for consumers, and it got so vocal that Disney, of all people, the main people who own the Star Wars IP, got in touch with EA and told them that they have to do something, and they are pissed. And not so pissed, but one thing you have to learn in this life is that you never fudge with the house of mouse. And EA is feeling now the pressure on from Disney, you know? Disney is putting the pressure on EA, telling them, fix your shit, and fix it now, because we have this movie coming in December, and we don't want all this all this bad press coming at us. So please fix your shit, EA. And right now, this is you can tell like my excitement in my heart is jittery because they removed microtransactions temporarily. Even though it's a temporary, this is a temporary win. They were pressured enough to remove them and reevaluate how they're going to do microtransactions in this game. And granted, it's still broken to this point. It's still centered around like grinding hours and hours and hours for credits. But yeah, EA removed microtransactions from Battlefront 2, which should be a win of itself. So in summary, Disney came down hard hearing all this negative press. And Disney, if you one thing you know about Disney, they always care about their image. They're like Nintendo. They always care about the image. Image is so important to them. And seeing all this negative press and seeing their company associated to essentially child gambling, they said, "Oh shit, this is getting out of hand." And they're now questioning whether or not EA can handle the Star Wars IP, and they're probably gonna pull the IP from EA. And this is a big probably, and I hope this happens. They're probably gonna pull it from EA, the Star Wars franchise, and they're probably gonna put it towards another studio, either Activision or something, because EA really screwed the pooch on this. And like I said in my tweet, EA really screwed the pooch. Not only in the first Battlefront where it was a mess. Granted, it was fun, but it was a mess. And the second Battlefront, which is we're living it right now, and the closure of Visceral Games and the cancellation of the single player Star Wars games that they were working on. Even though EA has said it's not canceled, that game is fucking canceled. That game is absolutely canceled. It's not like the original vision of that game is dead on arrival. It's gonna probably be a microtransaction. That's why they probably got Respawn to make like a shooter based, like fast paced Star Wars game or something like that. But yeah, it's just this is a domino effect. This is happening, just like, and to all the people that are saying that this doesn't affect them, that they don't care about microtransactions, that this is a lost cause, that this is not going to help anybody, that it's not going to stop them for what they want to play, what games they want to play. EA got rid of Visceral. You're never going to get another Star Wars. You're never going to get that Star Wars games that they were making on, and you're never going to get another Battlefront. Dead Space ever again, because that franchise Dead Space is now in limbo, and so is Mass Effect, because Mass Effect was an absolute shitstorm. And if you read the development behind Mass Effect Andromeda, you can see like the bullshit that EA was doing, and now that IP is in limbo. So if you think that not supporting or boycotting a studio, or let's say a studio like EA won't change anything, think again, because even though you're buying these games, you're still getting impeded from playing the games you want to play. Because I'm pretty sure you wanted to play another Dead Space, and I'm pretty sure you wanted to play that Visceral Star Wars game and another Mass Effect, but you're never going to see those franchises again, because they're now stuck in limbo, and they're going to be shells of their former selves, because EA, what they want is multiplayer only games with tons of microtransactions and tons of grinding that you're gonna have to pay for. But that doesn't affect you, right? Because you can afford $2,000 worth of microtransactions, right? It doesn't affect you, right? It's just to all the people that are saying, there are naysayers that are saying this won't change anything. Get ready to have that foot in your mouth, because it's gonna happen. we're seeing it right now. We're seeing it with EA. We're seeing it with the backlash of Star Wars of the even though Shadow of War sold well, that game is not going to get another title ever again because I'm pretty sure it didn't sell the way the Warner Brothers, another garbage ass studio, didn't want them to sell. So yeah, it's just I think that sums it up this past 3 weeks. So yeah, this past 3 weeks were insane, guys. Games that I'm playing right now. I'm playing Persona 5 again. I'm gonna try to finish that. I'm saving all my Switch games for when I'm on vacation because I'm traveling. So I want to save all my Switch games and play them over there. You know, I'm probably gonna play Pokemon Ultra Moon after Persona 5, and then I'm probably gonna play some Skyrim on my Switch. Then I'm gonna play I'm gonna try to finish Mario Odyssey and Mario Odyssey before Xenoblade 2 comes out. But if I'm not finished with Mario Odyssey before Xenoblade 2 comes out, I'm probably just gonna put that on the back burner and play Xenoblade 2. It's just even though Mario's a fucking amazing game, go buy that game. It's just that it takes so many. My attention span for Mario games is like from 30 to 1 hour. I can only take so much. So yeah, it's a great game, but yeah, my attention span is just so little. That's why I need like single player games like Persona, like Jet games, like Skyrim on games, you know.